Hey everybody, Steve Hutchinson here again from Belen Community Action Group. I get it, the lighting here sucks. I'm at home. Not a professional YouTuber by any stretch of the imagination, so really kind of woefully prepared for this. Just shot one video and editing was all, the whole thing was crap. So anyway, here we are. Just got done the meeting with Chief Connor and the Game Changers. Great meeting. I kind of crashed it on the Game Changers, so they didn't invite me, but Chief Connor's invited me, and so hey guys, thanks. Appreciate the let me in there, let me listen to what you guys had going on. Smoothie. And so what I want to address first and foremost is perception. There's an old saying in radio, perception is reality. And what the idea behind that is that what we perceive is our reality. And there's error in that because, you can manage people's perceptions. You change the War Department to the Defense Department and people start thinking differently about that particular department, even though it's doing the exact same thing it was doing in the first place. So, my point in saying that is this. Just because you don't see a police car on your block does not necessarily mean that the police are not doing their jobs. We tend to feel better when they're visible, but the fact is they don't always have to be in our neighborhoods to be doing their jobs. And so just think about that, please. That's from me to you. Okay? I know we get frustrated, we get on Facebook and we rant and rave about how the police aren't doing their jobs, but from what I've gathered from today's meeting and my last meeting with Chief Connor is that they are doing their jobs. They're out there, they're working hard, and they need our support. And so when you see a police officer, tell them thank you. So the meeting, I got a little agenda here, a little outline, and just, because I'm condensing everything into the shortest video that I can make. The chief outlined the problems with the court system and exactly why things are not working properly and why we still have repeat offenders. And part of the problem is there's no accountability. Nobody's being held accountable. It's always, oh, mijo, you're such a good boy. Well, they might have been at 10, but right now they're stealing stuff and they're doing drugs. They need to be held accountable for that. Okay, I said it. Hang me if you want. You can get mad at me if you want, but those are the facts. Okay. The new amendment that was passed this past year took effect July 1st, and for every one person that they keep in jail, there's like 1,000 people getting out who should not be out. Again, accountability problem. Where I come from in Vermont. And where Chief Connor comes from, it used to be that if you bonded out, you get arrested, you do something stupid, you get arrested, you bond out, so you don't have to sit in jail until your court date. But if you get in trouble between those two times, then they're going to put you back in jail and you're going to stay there. The problem with New Mexico for a while now is that you bond out, you get out, you do something stupid again, you get arrested, you get to bond out again. And there's no accountability. You're not held accountable for what you've done, and so that's the problem. Well, they said they were going to address this by saying that judges can keep people in jail now. They don't have to, the bond thing, the bond schedule is not fair. The poorer people are staying in jail, and those who have money are getting out, and so on and so forth. And the problem is, for every one person that gets locked up and stays there, about 1,000 people are getting out. So, you just have to say, you just have to manipulate the paperwork to make it say what you want it to say. The idea here is that it was never for your good or my best interest. It was never in the city's best interest. The problem is the county pays for people to be in jail. And that doesn't mean that the city doesn't. If a city judge sends somebody to jail, that's $65 a day. The rest of that is picked up by the county, and the county basically says that more people in jail means more liability, more money that we have to pay out. And so their idea was that we need less people in jail so that we're not forking over all this dough. The problem is repeat offenders are getting out. They're out there on the streets repeat offending. And so when you have somebody who's addicted to drugs and they spend 30 to 40 days in jail, well, somewhere in that 30 to 40 days, they'll likely come to their senses. Not everybody, but a lot of them will come to their senses and say, you know what, I got a family, I got kids, and look at the crap that I'm doing. I'm ruining their lives. I'm ruining my life. And then they start seeking help. And it's amazing. And that's great. And that's what we want. The problem is when you're only in jail for 2 days, guess what happens? You're just jonesing. And so as soon as you get out, you look for the next fix. But you don't have any money because you just got out of jail. So what do? You go rob a car. You go bust a window and take the stuff out of the car. That's reality, okay? These people need to stay in jail. It's just the facts. You know, the evidence doesn't lie. And so we need to hold the court systems more accountable. And we formulated a way to do it. Chief Connors came up with a really brilliant idea of how to do it, and we're going to run with that and expand upon it and make it something that'll work. So we're going to hold repeat offenders more accountable by holding the court system accountable and making the court system hold the repeat offenders accountable. You know, budget restrictions basically make it so that you know, your city judge cannot keep somebody in jail. Okay, it's just too expensive. $65 a day. You do that with everybody who broke the law, and guess what happens? You've blown your budget in a month. So the point is, we need to prioritize, and those repeat offenders that keep getting out, we need to make sure that the courts are keeping them in jail. And that's what we're going to do, and we're going to do it together, and we have a kind of a plan of attack on how to do it, and we're going to get it done. So, as far as the Belen Police Department, now, again, talking about perception here, we see a police car on our block, we assume that the police are doing their jobs. If we don't see a police officer on our block in a week, we assume that they're not doing their job. We look at what's going on in the community. We see, you know, cars keep getting broken into. The crime rate seems horrible and terrible and awful. And so we assume that the police aren't doing their jobs. They are. There's a task force, I guess, known as the Neighborhood Engagement Team. They do not answer any calls. They let the regular shift answer the calls. And these guys go out and they go to high-risk neighborhoods. So if you don't see them in your neighborhood, guess what? That doesn't mean they're not doing their job. That just means they're in a different neighborhood. They've deemed a different neighborhood higher risk for crime. And so what these guys do is they investigate suspicious behavior. If you're driving on the road in one of these high-risk neighborhoods and you're speeding, doing 45 and a 30, and you got a tail light out, guess what? You're going to get pulled over because that's suspicious. If you see a guy walking down the street in one of these high-risk areas and he's looking into his window, that guy is going to get some answers, get asked some questions, and he's going to have to get some answers. So that's what they're doing, and they are doing it. It's real, it's happening, and it's great. I mean, it shows us that the police department, that the chief cares about our community. Now, I can guarantee you that the guy cares about his community because he divulged something to us at the meeting. He was in retirement. And if you're an elected official on retirement, then you can collect your pension and collect a paycheck. The thing is, being the police chief here in Belen is not an elected official. You were appointed to that position. You were made an offer and you were appointed to that position. Guess what? He's the police chief. He came out of retirement in order to work for us. Okay? Now, yeah, he's collecting a paycheck, and someone will say, well, he's just doing it out of greed, but he wouldn't do it if he didn't want to be here. If he wanted to just kick back and collect some money, then he would have stayed in retirement. The fact is he didn't. He came to work for us. He came out of retirement in order to come and help our city, our community, be better. Keep that in mind the next time you get upset with the crime, because guess what? The police officers aren't out there committing the crime. The drug addicts and the criminals are the ones out there committing the crimes. Blame them for committing the crimes. And we'll start holding our police accountable. They need to be held accountable. But our judges, district attorneys, they all need to be held accountable too, because there's some things going on in the court system which we're going to outline another time where the police, their hands are tied. They're there. They're working. They're trying to get evidence. They're trying to discuss things about the case in order to get these guys convicted once and for all. They're sick of arresting the same 5 people over and over and over and over again. And guess what? The case gets called up. They're in another room trying to nail this guy. And they call up the case and they make a plea deal behind the officer's back. And there's nothing you can do about it. Okay? So it's not the police department's fault. Okay? I keep harping on this. And you guys are going to get sick of hearing me say it. But the fact is, it is not the police department's fault. They are working hard. They have been, he mentioned that their budget is really good, that the city council is being really good about giving them the money that they need to do the jobs. And so let's stop being so cynical about the police department. Let's maybe even back off being so cynical about the city council. That's against my grain, and I'm not completely committed to that because I haven't met them yet. And so, but yes, we're going to hold them accountable, but it's not always their fault. So keep that in mind, okay? Please. Let's be a little more optimistic. The police officers, they need our support. And did I talk about NET, Neighborhood Engagement Team? Yes, I did. Okay. So, the fruits of NET, the Neighborhood Engagement Team, is going around in high-risk areas and investigating suspicious behavior. What they have found is that the drug dealers are actually taking in trade stolen goods for drugs. And so they're essentially fencing the stolen goods, hawking it online and things like that, and giving these people drugs. And so they're perpetuating the crime. And so, again, it's not the police officer's fault. It's the drugs. It's the drug dealers, the drug addicts. It's their fault for committing the crimes, not the police officers. So, and so that's what they found. So if you see something, say something. If you see somebody getting high, immediately call the police. If they're out in front of the grocery store, call the grocery store and tell them what's going on, and that you're not going to shop there unless they do something about it. I saw that online. It's a great idea. Thank you for your input, whoever made that comment originally. Appreciate it. So the big question: what are we doing? What is my wife and I doing to help build the Belen Community Action Group? We are working diligently. We need your help, but right now I'm building the website. I've invested $100, a little over $100 for the website. I've got the domain name. I've got the website started. I got the home page. A couple of pages after that. I'm putting up content. If you have any idea for content, email me. The email is belencommunityactiongroup@gmail.com. Okay. Right now, it's going to change, but that's the one we have right now. Belen Community Action Group @gmail.com. Email me, email my wife your suggestions. My wife and I will either one of us will answer you, get back to you. And so if you have any ideas for the website, solutions, ideas of any kind, if you want to get more involved, email me. Okay, we need you involved. Okay, we're going to have to get a committee. One of the things I need help with, if you know or you know somebody who does know, the nonprofit status. We're going to have to be a nonprofit organization. This is going to take resources, it's going to take money, it's going to take time from the community, it's going to take manpower. And so if you have any idea how to get tax exempt status for the Community Action Group, I don't know. I don't think it's a 501c3, but I have no idea. If you know, please email me. Let's meet up in person. We'll have coffee and we'll talk about it. I need to know and I need your help. We're going to have to form a committee. A committee cannot be 1 or 2 or 3 people, okay? We need multiple people. A board, I mean, not a committee, a board. And we need bylaws, and so in order to get bylaws, we need to have a board and we need to have rules. I need your help. Okay, I can't do that alone. I can't be a one-man, or my wife and I can't be a 2-person board. We need your help. Okay, this is not our baby. This is not our project alone. This is for the community. We need your involvement. If you are ready to commit to sit down and talk about this, please email me, email my wife, Belen Community Action Group at gmail.com. Get involved. Help us out. Let's do this. Let's do it together. If you have ideas, solutions, whatever, email me. Email us at that one. This week I'm going to be contacting the mayor's office for a meeting for this or next week or whenever he's available. I know he's a busy guy. He's a mayor. He's the mayor of an entire city. So whenever I can get a hold of him and get a meeting with him, I want to cultivate a relationship with him. We'll move on to the city councilors. We'll move on to the judges. We'll move on to the district attorneys. And we will get this thing blown wide open so that we know all the little nuances, so that we all understand what's going on. The more informed we are, the better off we'll be. Okay? I mean, a lot of these guys we elected to their positions. Don't you think we should know what they think? I mean, I don't know about you, but I investigated everybody that I voted for on that ballot. And if I didn't know them, I didn't vote for them, period. So we should all be thinking on those terms. So again, we need you. We're going to set up for our next meeting, for our first meeting here coming up. I was planning on doing that this week, but I didn't get to it. I have a life. I was busy. Sorry. And so I think that's it. I think that's all I got. So tomorrow can be different, okay? It's up to us. What do we do? Are we going to make it happen? We need to. I can't do it alone. You can't do it alone. We need each other. So let's come together. You know, it's one thing to like a page on Facebook. It's another to make a comment on a post on Facebook. It's a completely different animal when you actually get involved and start making change happen. So let's stop talking about it and let's do it. One last thing that I wanted to mention. July 15th, at the B, we're going to clean up our city. We're going to clean up the B. Project B. It starts, I think they said it was 5 a.m. I could be wrong. Just double check. Get on Facebook. Look, there's an event. There's a page. Whole 9 yards. I'm going to be up there for a couple of hours. Bring a rake. Bring a shovel. Let's make it happen. Bring your gloves and a couple of hours. And let's do this. Let's work together to clean up our city. And if you see somebody trying to dump trash somewhere, you get on them and tell them you take that to the dump. It's $5, man. It ain't that expensive. So let's hold each other accountable. Let's hold our officials accountable. Let's do this. Belen's got some problems. Let's assess it, address it, and get it done. Okay? Thanks for watching. Thanks for your interest in the Belen Community Action Group. Power to the people, right? Thanks, guys. Take care. Thanks for watching.